Welcome, it's indisputable, good to be with you. We got a lot on the agenda for the show today. Joining me for news of the day, we got the big homie, Jackson White, breaking down a lot of content. Co-founder, editor-in-chief of Politiscope and Rebel HQ creator, remarkable gent. Rick Green would join me in the bullpen, founder of Patriot Academy. So Rick wants to chop it up about Second Amendment freedom and constitutional jurisdiction. Our first story for today. Yep, we said this was going to happen, that it has been happening and continues to happen. There's a leak. Somebody hacked into the Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers are a far right-wing anti-government organization. And guess what they found? A bunch of military officials, state workers, police officers, the list goes on and on. So let me give you some background to this story. A hacker claims to have stolen and leaked a bunch of data from the Oath Keepers, a far-right militia group whose members were present at the January 6th terrorist attack. Roughly 5 gigabytes of data, which was provided by the hacker to the journalist and Transparency Collective, distributed denial of secrets, that's DDO secrets, contains everything from emails to internal chats to details on the organization's members and donors. Let me show you a picture of we got a screenshot. Let's show a picture of the founder. That's the founder. His name is Elmer Stewart Rhodes. Let me also remind everyone that this guy believed that Donald Trump should have activated militia groups and federalized them to start controlling security in America. Here's him saying that.
He could also call up us, the unorganized militia, call us into service as well. Everyone from the age of 17 to 45 is still considered the militia. And those of us who require service, like I served as a paratrooper, until age 65 because of our training. He could call us into duty right now, starting with us, those of us who are already trained, and put us on the border.
So this guy believes that the armed militia should actually be federalized by the president of the United States, then President Donald Trump. Now remember, this leak has exposed connections between current military officials, police officers, other members of government throughout the United States, even some federal workers, okay? Now, this is directly from oathkeepers.org. It says current and formerly serving military, police, and first responders who pledge to fulfill the oath all military and police take to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The oath mandated by Article 6 of the Constitution itself is to the Constitution, not to the politicians, and oath keepers declare that they will not obey unconstitutional orders, such as orders to disarm the American people, to conduct warrantless searches, or detain Americans as enemy combatants. That's right on their website. More than 10,000 emails, I want that number to sink in. More than 10,000 emails from the inboxes of high-profile members, including state chapter leaders, were also found in the breach, with dates ranging from January 13th to September 19th. A membership list for the organization contains more than 38,000 email addresses, although it's unclear which are linked to current and former members. The email addresses in some instances are also tied to names, physical addresses, phone numbers, IP addresses, and donation amounts made to the militia. Official US military email addresses are also littered throughout the breach. The FBI describes the Oath Keepers as a paramilitary organization and a large but loosely organized collection of militia who believed that the federal government has been co-opted by a shadowy conspiracy. Literally right now, you have members of the government, according to this leak, according to this data hack, who have subscribed to this ideology, including New York police officers, and the list goes on. My brother, you see what's happening here, Jackson. It's not really a surprise, but now you have cause and effect. You have dynamics connected here. What are your thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts is that this is really one of the biggest consequences of the Republican Party putting far right-wing culturalism at the center of their operation, and that it's permeated into everything that the tentacles touch, such that the majority of people in law enforcement are Republicans, and therefore their access to that echo chamber and that culture that not only protects, like is the hard fight against like Black Lives Matter and defund the police, and really holds that culture in place. But also the Republican Party funds militarism within law enforcement. I live out here in New Jersey, and I regularly see cop cars that are tanks and people with military grade weapons in richer neighborhoods, so that people in more expensive areas can feel more protected and safe from those who have less. And so they're finding people who are members of the Oath Keepers within NYC. But again, because the Republican Party's cultural influence is so powerful, this is, people who may not be members of the Oath Keepers, but the people who are, cut from the same cloth all the same are, spread all throughout the ranks all over the country. And so, really another thing, lastly, that pointed out to me, the whole anti-government, that really for them just means anti-democracy and anti-competition. That's really all that means. So, again, like you pointed out, this isn't surprising at all. And this is really and largely a part due to the Republican Party's cultural influence.
Very well said, brother. Shifting gears, we've noticed something across the country and beyond. Anti-Karens. Anti-Karens are real. We have spotted anti-Karens a few times. Now, I want to bring you to some anti-male Karens. Here it is.
Puerto Rican, is that wrong?
That's right.
I love Puerto
That's right.
Rican.
What about this?
We don't love you.
I love Koreans.
Do they need to
I love every country. But when they come to America, it would be nice if they spoke English.
Too bad for
That's
you.
not racist.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The United States doesn't have an official language, jackass.
I never said it.
Oh, well, then they don't have to speak it for you because they're not talking to you.
I'm so glad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should have just mind your own business.
Nobody would be standing up to your racist ass.
Really?
Yeah.
That's considered
Really?
racism?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And you should learn the definition of it and not just show your ass in public again.
So you get to harass me?
Nobody's harassing you. You're talking back to me, silly. You stop talking, and so
I was
will I.
talking to them.
I don't care. They weren't talking to you.
You chimed in.
That's right.
We did. He did what you did. He did what you did.
Somebody else's conversation, then you have to expect it.
Yeah.
There you go. This is the kind of world that you want. Aren't you happy now? It's good. I'm happy. I'm fine. I'm just not willing to let this racist idiot get away with this sort of stupid narrative.
Anti-Karens are basically avengers. Now, let me say this. We cover Karens because in the social construct of our reality, Karens are dangerous. They can make things more than what they are and get a lot of people in trouble. But we've always had the Karenicity vibe in America and other countries, right? Well, we have seen people stand up, and these individuals, they were standing up. And it actually takes more of this public shaming. I know some people may not like the terminology, but public shaming has a way of coercing, of changing, of transforming your behavior in society, at least publicly. So this happened. There's more happening across the world, and we're going to continue to highlight every single one of them. Jackson, what are your thoughts when you see an anti-Karen?
I think that this, my man perfectly broke down her behavior to her. She was upset that he intervened in her conversation when in fact she intervened in the other people's conversation. And it's just like, whether it's her or other people who do this, you're an adult, who gives a damn, just if you, whether you're listening to somebody speak, I mean, how is that more annoying than listening to somebody speaking English right next to you? Hearing just voices in a crowd in general, like, the other language intimidates you in such a way. It's childish and it's ridiculous. And then, there's some more. I don't know if you're gonna show in the video, but she expected the police to come and do something about that. Like about what? Like, I don't want to hear you speak in another language. Like, oh, okay.
But it shows you the extreme privilege, right? For you to believe that your obligation to another person talking a different language or somebody even disagreeing with you about your racist ideology is to call a gun to the scene. I remind people all the time, when you call 911 and you request the police, you are requesting a gun. And why does it take a gun to resolve a conflict so minor, right? So these things are in our society, man, but it's something else when I see an anti-Karen, because it really gives me joy in my heart that there are people who are willing to stand up and speak out. And also they're willing to risk being involved in a situation that could blow up, right? Yeah. Even if you are an anti-Karen, you could end up being placed on social media like this person was. I don't think he had an issue, but that's something in the back of the minds of people. So to me, it's definitely heroic to do exactly what these anti-Karens are doing in the US and elsewhere. Let me bring everyone's attention to an evil. And this is why it's very important to not allow a title, or if somebody slaps Christianity on the front, don't let that deceive you, okay? There's a Texas Christian president of a Christian school, jailed. Why did he go to jail? He went to jail because he's a pervert. Explicit photos. Former Lubbock Christian school president was sentenced on Thursday to 5.5 years in federal prison for possessing explicit images of a student. Let me give you some background to this monster. Put up his picture. His name is Larry Ty Rogers, 56 years of age, all right? He pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty to possession of child pornography and also indecency, I think, was another one. But he definitely was the president of a Christian academy. I want you to let that sink in for a minute. Now I'm going to tell you what this man did. According to the plea papers, this is what he said he did. Rogers admitted that back in October of 2020, his wife caught him taking photographs of a 15-year-old girl as she was naked in the bathroom preparing to shower. He was doing this secretly. Rogers, who was found on his hands and knees holding his iPhone under the opening at the bottom of the door, admitted to his wife that he'd taken several photos and videos of the child in the bathroom. He later admitted his intended focus, get this, was the child's genitals and pubic area, and that the images were designed to elicit a sexual response in Rogers. Put his picture up again. That man, the president of a Christian school in Texas, guarantee you he's one of these far-right, Trump-supporting, MAGA hat-wearing pervs. Shortly thereafter, a colleague confronted him about his conduct. Rogers dropped his head and confirmed that he had taken the photos of a minor female and suggested that he should resign his position as president of the Christian school. Oh, well, way to go. I mean, I need to resign. I'm a bad guy. No, you need to take your ass to jail. Okay? You get no victory points for getting caught being a child sex predator. It goes on. He said he should resign as president. In addition to his sentence, Rogers will have to register as a sex offender, a Christian institution. Jackson, this happens actually more than people believe. where pedophiles like him, and I know he has not been convicted of actual molestation, and I'm supposed to say something like alleged on that. I don't give a damn. The man is a monster and a pervert. So many times people like this will seek opportunity to be around children. And at this point, because we have no evidence, no narrative, no story of additional investigations, at this point, somebody wants us to believe this was the only time he did it, when he got caught by his wife. And I know that's a damn lie.
Of course. And unfortunately, one of the negative side effects and the pros and cons of everything, but one of the downs of religion is it allows people to hide under the guise of righteousness. And it's been used all throughout the history of civilization for people to basically say that God is permanently on my side, therefore my will be done. And religion can attract broken people who are looking for leadership and who are looking for guidance from people who may know better than them and have answers to the path of life. And so people in his position can often use their deception as a way to lure people in, and a lot of the red flags get overlooked. And so unfortunately, this type of stuff happens quite often, as you pointed out. Unfortunately, this guy got caught and is going to be facing some prison time. But again, we can't allow people who are a part of religious institutions to get away with behavior that's perverted just because they're under the guise of righteousness and God. So
yeah, and I actually think his sentence should have been more harsh. This was in alignment with the sentencing guideline. However, this should have been an enhanced sentence given the fact that he was in a position of public trust, and the context of that public trust was directly related to children. All right, we got more on the other side. It's indisputable. Stick and stay. All right, welcome back. We got a lot of show left. Let me remind everyone that we have the new indisputable mug. Yes, available now. Shop tyt.com. Brand new indisputable product is here. This mug has a print on both sides. It's my closing statement. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the planet. And remember, the truth is always indisputable. Take that mug with you everywhere you go, and it reminds you of what's important in life, okay? Also, Atlanta Magazine has nominated me for Best TV Anchor, Best of 2021 series. You can vote. You can vote on that. We'd love for you to do so. And it recognizes the work that we do right here on TYT by bringing unapologetic truth, direct conversation, open discussion, and policy solutions. Here's how you vote, real simple. Go to go to tyt.com/Rashad, tyt.com/RASHAD. Go to the box, you'll see it right there. Just type in Rashad Richey, RASHAD, RICHEY. And you have until October 11th, and you can vote every day. You can make this part of your daily regimen. Those are the rules of the contest, okay? All right, and don't forget, coming up right after Indisputable, we got Galaxy Brain with the big homie, Ben Carollo. 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That is a Twitch exclusive, twitch.tv/TYT. Let me read these comments. All right, TYT member Eric the Red, Elmer Stewart Rhodes, entirely sure it isn't Elmer Fudd. I knew somebody was going to say that about this guy. Jambo Gino, getting to work in law enforcement when you used to be a gang member is a white privilege. And listen, according to LA County, they can still be gang members. All right, Mickey C, the silver-haired dragon. Would that Karen be throwing the same tantrum if two deaf people were conversing in sign language? That's a good point. YouTube super chat. Spud started out already hyped for the show. Tomorrow's my birthday and I get to see the good doctor live today. Best Friday. Well, Spud, happy early birthday to you, and I hope you have a great birthday. Anytime your birthday falls on a Saturday, the gods are smiling upon you. Don't forget that. All right, Sticks Dragon, I need an eye patch. Why do bad guys all have eye patches? Army of One, hooray for anti-Karens, real heroes. That's right. King T, salute to all the anti-Karens. Yep. Jim Adelberg, make bigots ashamed again. That may sell. I like that. Make bigots ashamed again. Peter Hamby, do not entitle Karens face reality, cowards to the truth, from the Haiku Dragon. Non-human humanist. If I speak my language in public, never get negativity. If people speak other language, even the official one, get racist treatment if their skin is dark. Bernie, the Kiwi Dragon, racist Karens, I will speak any language I blink and well please. The only language we won't tolerate is Karenese, or is it Karenish or Karenai or Karenian? Yeah, we'll come up with it. We'll come up with a good one. All right, Twitch, gotta go to Twitch real quick. Mike Moore raps, he should just get is that a monocle? I'm gonna have to consult Webster's on that one. All right, Genocide 2002. And they say superheroes aren't real. Okay, all right, thank you all for chiming in, all right? Next story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a doozy. I wish a Karen would.
You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
I feel free. Back off.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Talking and do a little work and be a little more professional.
Yes, completely understand. I'm down by the what we can do at the moment. Are you? There's a number. Oh my God. Yeah. What's your license plate number?
I got you, girl.
I got a non-emergency number. I'm calling for this.
That what?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I got diabetes and my blood sugar's low.
Oh, that's a good excuse, ma'am. Matter of fact, I am calling the 9-800 number. Wow.
We're spilling over that I got diabetes and my blood sugar's low.
Well, how do I dissect this? Let me first start by saying we highlight Karens because Karens are dangerous. As you can see, this Karen decided to engage in destruction of property. Now remember, right before she did this engagement, right before she committed this criminal act, she said, you all need to be professional while I tear this damn store up, okay? Now remember, that's your pretext, right? So she has enough energy to yell, scream, curse, tear up the store, but this is all because her sugar is low. Well, I actually have people in my family, members of my family with diabetes, and it's a serious disease. I have an uncle who has to take multiple shots a day in order to live. When his sugar gets low, he gets very weak. He can't do all of that. He can barely move. So she's lying, okay? Jackson, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love how, as she just, as you pointed out, I had people in my family who have diabetes as well. And as you pointed out, when your sugar's low, you don't have energy and you can't move. And she's just destroying everything. Like my diabetes is acting up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but more seriously, I think this really just shows that many Americans are not doing well mentally, including those among us who seem to be doing just fine, who are high functioning professionals in various fields, high functioning family members, who may be dealing with high levels of stress, anxiety, depression. A lot of that being brought on by the socioeconomic culture that we live under, the umbrella that we live under, that doesn't really give us any proper time to breathe or reflect on life in any meaningful way as we aimlessly strive for greater heights, as we aimlessly strive to just have more and more and more. Just think about like just products in America. Think about how much money Apple makes and how frequently the products break. And just a lot of the pressures of society just really weigh down on people in ways that impact us more greatly than we may realize. But
Yeah.
That was just something that really stuck out to me. That
I got you, brother. I just think this is a regular ass Karen, brother. That's what I believe. That's just my assessment.
So.
My assessment is not as articulate as yours, definitely not as deep, but I think it's more accurate. This is just a regular ass Karen. Okay, all right, let me go to the next one. I got something for everybody. Double dose.
You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
You're still free. Back off.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Investigator from the California State Board of Equalization.
Okay, so who are you looking for?
Do you own this property? Are you the owner?
Are you looking for?
I'm looking for the owner of the property.
Well, then I'm pretty sure if you're the tax fraud investigator for the state of California that you'll know how to find a property owner.
Well, if you're not the tenant on the lease, then I'm going to have the police out here and have you removed in 2 days. You understand?
You're funny.
Are you're laughing at me?
You look like you're on drugs.
Unless you okay? Looks like you're on drugs.
Well, you're being forced
so
that you're representing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're. Well, this house looks like it's got issues.
You look like you have issues.
And there's no.
Some bitch at my
door. Oh, some bitch at your door. You got squatters here at this property, and I'm going to prove to the police that you don't own it. Okay.
You're a squatter. You're on my property. Get off of it.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to have you removed from this property in 2 seconds, and I've got your phone number out here and your son's card, and I'm going to make sure that he's doing no construction without a license.
Handle your business, bitch.
Handle your business, bitch, because this house looks like.
You look like. Go take a shower.
You got spider webs in your lawn.
You had spider webs in your crotch.
You know what? Go back to doing your drugs and squat on houses that you can't afford, lady, because you're going to be gone.
Damn, government workers have become so aggressive these days. No, she does not work for the Board of Equalization, okay? No, she does not. This incident is about this particular Karen wanting to enforce a trespass issue on property she does not own. And so she falsely presents herself as an investigator with the Board of Equalization of California. So she poses this, is not accurate, obviously, and she gets into this back and forth. Well, my production team did a little research. In 1879, the California State Board of Equalization was established under the California Constitution to regulate county assessment practices, equalize county assessment ratios, and assess properties of inter-county railroads. The subsequent constitutional and statutory amendments, the board was directed to administer tax, fee, and appellate programs to support state and local government. Today, the BOE focuses on its constitutional responsibilities: property tax, alcohol beverage tax, and tax on insurers. Seems like if she did work for the BOE, she's a little bit out of her damn jurisdiction. But think about the creativity that goes behind this. I mean, this woman literally said, I'm going to go to these people and say, I am an investigator with the Board of Equalization. Now, here's what I wonder. What would have happened if somebody would have said, okay, yeah, hey, how are you? Can I see some ID? What would have happened if they actually engaged with this woman? Would she have continued in the lie? Okay, it's really interesting that it is actually against the law to do what she did, to represent herself as a government employee. That law is 538G. Don't have time to go into all of that law, but obviously representing yourself as an investigator with a governmental agency when you are not is a crime. It's a misdemeanor in the state of California. So, Jackson, was this Karen also under the pressures of the economic system in the United States of America?
She was under the pressure of some type of opioids, man. This is the type that gets people shot, man. Just coming up to people's, door. I mean, seriously, just coming up to people's doors and knocking. And what was really funny about it to me is, like how you pointed out, what would she have done if they would have came out and be like, let me see your ID? Because this was such like a spontaneous plan that she just got like off the influence of the drugs. Because you saw she started to walk away, and then they said like, yeah, walk on. Then she turned around like, then she just like had to keep on going back and forth with it. Like she had no real in-depth plan. She was just like, like I thought it was gonna work. Like she didn't know what she was doing, man.
Yeah, and listen, she had, I don't think the outfit she had on had any pockets. So she has no paperwork. She has no opportunity to present any type of ID. I mean, if you're going to do something like this, I don't recommend anybody do anything like this. But if you're going to do it, look the part, damn it. I mean, obviously there's something going on here. I believe when the woman on the other side of the door said, it seems like you're high. It seems like you're doing something, right? I don't know if this was liquid courage or courage from something else. But remember, brother, to have this kind of charisticity, it comes from a very authentic place in that individual. So this wasn't something that she just said, I'm going to do today. This was something that she already had inside of her to do. And maybe this was the day she felt courageous enough to pretend to be an investigator in order to, I guess, scare somebody into leaving their property and then scare their son as well.
Yeah, she just needed a little help from that influence. That's all she needed. That's where she got that courage, and that's all she really needed.
We highlight these stories, and we're going to continue to highlight these stories because when you look at behavior from a different point of view, when you see this kind of behavior, it has a way of letting you know, hey, not only do we need to be aware that this behavior exists, we need to also actively check it when we see it, right? We've had strategies for many years in various movements. One of the primary angles of any particular strategy is to make sure that it is exposed. Transparency is key to reform and policy change. Because of us highlighting Karens, I'm not just talking about this show, I'm talking about American people, anti-Karens of the world, decent individuals. Because of that, you have a slew of anti-Karen laws with city, county, and state governments all over the United States. If you call the police just because somebody is being black, well, you get to go to jail now under an actual statute in many jurisdictions across the country. That would not have happened without the exposure of Karenicity and seeing how it adversely impacts our society. We have more on the other side. It's indisputable, stick and stay. Welcome back. We still got a lot of show left. Let me read some of these amazing comments. TYT member, Colorado, blue, blazer regular. Let me check the literature. Nope, destruction of property is not on the list of effects of diabetes. But isn't that something? Mickey C, the silver-haired dragon. Please show me your badge ID. Until she does, she's trespassing and I call the cops on her. Don't have to worry about her being shot. Yeah. YouTube super chat, not that Karen dragon. Love it. Thank you for that. Anti-Karens, Moon Dragon. I bet that Karen would have said anything if the speakers would not have said anything if the speakers were German. Not that Karen says, anti-Karen Unite t-shirts coming. It's already happening. This was actually part of the plan. No, it wasn't, but it's good that you all are saying that, right? I think anti-Karen tees definitely up for consideration. Diabetes Karen. Janet, AKA Gemstar Dragon. No, diabetes does not make you a psychopath. It doesn't. Trudy Lawrence. Get you some sweet tea if your sugar low. That's just plain stupid. That's right. Get you some sweet tea. That was silly what she did. And the way she came up with her excuse, she had it ready to go. I mean, it was immediate. She knew exactly what the rebuttal would be. I think she's practiced that move a couple of times. Twitch, Platinum Yeti, my diabetes never made me do that, exactly. Shoegaze _dragon _Georgie. I have type 2 diabetes and can safely say that having low blood sugar doesn't induce rage, it induces shakes and weakness. Yep. Dr. Dragon Ryder, I knew she would come back. You just felt it in your spirit, didn't you? When she walked away, something gave you an unction. She's gonna come back. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, very sad story, okay? And this is still a mystery. A black mother suffering from postpartum depression goes to the hospital and then dies. Hospital saying nothing. Mother cannot get answers. It's a secret. So we're going to help this family expose what's happening in this hospital. Let me give you some background. In August, Denise Williams, 29 years old, a black mother of a 2-month-old and a 3-year-old, was rushed to NYC Health Hospital's Queens to receive treatment for postpartum depression. It happened, simple enough, right? Williams' mother, Linda McGee, called 911 because her daughter was not eating. The mother did the right thing. Let's put up a picture of this deceased queen. That's Denise Williams. She is now dead, and there are no answers from this hospital according to the family. Now, people are protesting. Just 48 hours after check-in, McGee received a call from the hospital thinking she was going to pick up her daughter. She received a call from the hospital that an autopsy would be performed on her daughter. It was the first communication the family received that Williams passed away. That's what her family told the city. A month later, now remember, they're trying to work with the hospital. They're trying to figure out, hey, do you have more information? What happened to our daughter? What happened with her inside of this hospital? And the hospital is not giving them the information. So a month later, the family still has no answers as to why this young lady died in the care of the hospital. The family also has yet to receive any autopsy report. A spokesperson for the hospital told PIX11 that they have been communicating with the family. The spokesperson said, and I quote, let's put that quote up. "We are committed to providing quality, compassionate, and safe care to all our patients, and we will continue to communicate with the family as appropriate." Bull. Williams' death also brings light to larger national issues. The maternal mortality rate of black women. According to the CDC, black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy complications than their white counterparts. In New York City, that number jumps to 8 times more likely. Black women in New York City are also far more likely to suffer from postpartum depression and are also less likely to receive treatment for it. This mother did the right thing. This mother saw her daughter was suffering, recognized it as postpartum depression, called 911. And when the ambulance got there, when the paramedics got there, they failed her too. So let me explain how that happened. Williams and McGee both requested that she go to another local hospital that they felt was safer. But the paramedics denied their request, said Williams' aunt, Charlene McGee. Indeed, studies indicate that differences in where black and white women give birth in New York City may account for nearly half of the disparities in severe but non-fatal maternal outcomes. This is still a tragedy. The family said, "We don't want condolences, we want answers." That's according to Williams' aunt. "It's been 3 weeks and my sister has no idea what happened to her child." Think about the grief of this mother. I want you to pause on this for a moment because we're gonna highlight this on Indisputable and we're gonna put it out there on social media and we're gonna follow up on this story. This mother saw her daughter struggling. There's a new grandbaby here. The mother has a new grandbaby. Miss Williams has a new child. She has postpartum. Grandmother says, I'm gonna go ahead and call emergency services so we can get you some help, baby, okay? And then she's dead. Hospital refusing to answer questions. City is now starting to respond. Protests are starting to happen. Still no answers. Something doesn't fit. Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts are that this is just further proof that our healthcare system continuously fails the people who need it the most. And that without the media attention that this story got, this woman likely never would have even been in a position, her family probably never would have been in a position at all to receive justice. And just those numbers, 3 times nationally, Black women are more likely to die from pregnancy issues, and 8 times in New York City just goes to show that profit is at the center of the industry. Less attention gets paid to those who can't pay the bills or who aren't insured in certain types of ways. And so, the hospital obviously doesn't want to release the records because hospitals keep extremely meticulous records of what they do. They don't want to release the records because either they were that negligent that they may not even have any good records, or the records show that they didn't do their jobs in some type of very obvious way. So, that's really all that this boils down to. If it wasn't about keeping themselves looking good, then this wouldn't be a problem at all.
Or preparing their stories, talking to counsel, getting their story together, right? At this point, speculation is warranted. They are giving no answers at all, okay? Fox News goes to a new low. That's a big thing to say about Fox News. They now do not want children to get a free lunch, literally free lunch. Here's the video.
The things that kills me is that now that there's a free lunch program in New Jersey, and it's for everyone, even if you don't need help to send your child's lunch to school. So those kids are all going to grow up thinking, well, lunch is free, right? And then God help the person who comes along and tries to take that away, Larry. You talk about free lunch. I mean, that will never, once that happens, right? Once it's baked in there, never gonna.
But it's important what you said. You're gonna pay for it with higher taxes and higher inflation. And I think common sense Americans know this is not right. They don't want big government socialism. They don't want a welfare state we're all dependent on.
It's a damn shame. You have to laugh, not to cry. Martha McCullum, I've been on Martha's show a few times. Usually she is a silly Billy, but I never thought she would stoop this low, okay? And with economic advisor, former Trump economic advisor, Larry Kudlow. This is really interesting to me because this discussion should have been in the larger arena of political spending or political maneuvering. But to bring it down to school lunch, I want to remind these folks of something. I really do. One, kids in K through 12 education, they don't pay for their lunches anyway. Their parents do, even if they don't have free lunch, okay? Parents give them money. I know you all are really separated from that reality of most Americans, but that's how it works. Many schools, including City of Atlanta or the Atlanta public school system, they give free lunch. They give it to everybody, right? This is up to the local taxpayers, and they're willing to do this. This is something that is a favored approach. But I want to remind these people of something. While they are debating about free lunch, remember, many of them are Christians. McCullum, she talks about her faith a lot. Well, I think she forgot that Jesus literally gave people free lunch when he fed the 5,000 men, women, and children. Didn't worry about them paying. And it's amazing to me that we debate over programs like this, but you never heard people like that debate over the cost of war. So let me get this right. We have unlimited spending as it relates to killing people and blowing things up. You never debate about the cost of war, but you debate about the cost of feeding those around you. That doesn't make sense. And now you're debating about children. Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are first and foremost that Larry Kudlow's been wrong about everything he's ever said really publicly and professionally. He's the guy who in 2008 said there'd be no crash, and onward. He's just a broken recorder who just says the same thing over and over again. And imagine just being this dense to think that kids who are just worried about eating when they're hungry are thinking about big government and socialists and tax spending programs. Like, they don't care. They need food so that they can do well in school, and to not be able to see that making sure that children have the nutrition that they need so that they can learn at school, so that they can go on and become productive members of society, just goes to show how useless the Republican Party really is.
Yeah, I mean, how disconnected. Yeah. Let me go to this story. This was really, really wild. A guy cleaning up a property, police approach him. Here's what happened.
You have no business here. Am I breaking any laws?
No, you sure are.
That's right. Now I'm gonna keep on.
My property.
Your property line is over there.
No, it is not.
Well, I can show it to you again. Come here.
I have 2 feet on this side of this.
No, you don't.
It belongs to me.
Legally, I couldn't put this on the property line.
I think you probably did it illegally anyway.
Why would I do stuff illegal?
Because you.
Are you committing me a crime? No, seriously.
I'm not gonna.
I'm an idiot.
You're an idiot.
I'm not gonna get in there with you, Scott. You're making a spectacle out of yourself.
You're the one who call the cops.
What have you been doing lately?
Working, making money,
Let
making
me
millions.
see your eyes.
You expect me a crime?
Let me see your eyes. Take your sunglasses off. Let me see your eyes.
What are you expecting me of?
Let me see your eyes.
Let me see your eyes. Are they dilated?
Mine are good to go.
Good to go? I don't know. You've done more drugs in your life than I have. You don't remember. I do know you as a kid, right?
All right, Scott. If that's what you
Some people
want to
grow
deal
out
with
of
that.
it, and then some people never grow out of anything.
Who owns this place?
You can't tell who owns it because look at it. It's a mess.
No different than your place. It's no different than the place right there where you live. I mean, you even got a car illegally parked. You think being a law officer, you wouldn't have a car legally parked on your property. Want to keep on going?
No, you've said enough.
You guys have a great day.
Okay, you have a good day.
You're dismissed.
But who's walking away?
I'm digging up my stuff. Walking away. Come on now. You know me better than that.
This is when community policing goes wrong. You don't get more community than the cop who literally lives right across the street from you responding to a call, and you all possibly may have done dope together as teenagers. I don't know. I found this really interesting. The police officer who really made a big deal out of absolutely nothing. Her name is Amanda Jo Watt Cole. Let's put up a picture. This is a screenshot from her Facebook page. And she wanted to also go on social media and address this. And she said, and I quote, "Just so we are clear, Scott Taylor, that's the guy you saw, got pissed off at me because he got turned into Crime Stoppers." Okay, all right. Jackson, we got a few seconds left, brother.
Yeah, like you said, this is the ultimate when community policing goes wrong. And she lives right across the street from the incident. They grew up together, and just think how bored you gotta be. Like, you're in a town that little, like there's some objects 2 feet away from my fencing. I gotta call the police. She just needed something to do.
Yeah,
she didn't want to. Yeah, that's all that was. She just needed something to occupy her day.
And all of her damn unconstitutional demands. Take off your glasses for what? What is he suspected of doing wrong? Why is this interaction continuing? All right, brother, always a pleasure having you on Indisputable. Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely, thank you for having me every time.
Let me remind everyone, we got the mugs. We got the mugs now available. All right, shop tyt.com. It is two-sided with my closing statement. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the planet. And remember, the truth is always indisputable. Make sure you get that mug, all right? Also, I have been nominated by Atlanta Magazine for Best TV Anchor. You all can vote on that. It is open for your participation. That voting ends October 11th. You can vote once a day. Real simple. Go to tyt.com/Rashad, tyt.com/Rashad. Type in the box, Rashad Richey, submit your vote. Let's win it together, all right? Also, right after this show, we have a new episode of Galaxy Brain with the big homie Ben Carollo, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That is a Twitch exclusive, all right? Get your Twitch game up. Okay, take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the planet. Remember, the truth is always indisputable.